Have you ever wondered, can a small act from the heart change destiny forever? In the shadows of judgment, an unnamed woman, scorned by society, stepped before Jesus with a precious alabaster jar. Not just fragrant oil, but her entire life. This is the untold story of a woman in the Bible where faith and courage light the path to grace. Join us to explore her journey, a symbol of love and sacrifice, to see how divine justice triumphs. Don't miss out. Subscribe to the channel today to discover inspiring stories and find modern connections to ancient faith. Prepare for an emotional journey. In Bethany, the desert's harsh sunlight swept across scorching stone paths, etching dusty footprints. Amid this hushed scene, a woman's figure emerged, moving silently like a leaf falling in the stifling summer sky. Her head bowed low, tangled hair singed by sun and wind, eyes tinged with distant sorrow. In her small hands, she clutched an alabaster jar, her life's last treasure, born from a past of deep pain. Society branded her sinner, but the heart's wounds had woven a quiet strength, urging her past shame to step forward. The memories of pointing fingers, whispers as she passed, lingered in her mind. They shook their heads, questioning why a fallen woman dared appear before the elite. Yet deep in her soul, she heard faith's whisper, Jesus, praised as the healer of the lame, breaker of prejudice's chains, was dining at Simon's house, a wealthy Pharisee. The news ignited a flame within, spurring her aching feet toward hope's light. Bethany wore a dual face. Across the road, simple stone homes nestled under worn thatch, echoing with roosters' crows, children's playful shouts. Nearby, Simon's house gleamed grandly, its gardens neat, walls draped in ornate fabrics. Laughter, clinking cups, and faint oil scents from the feast filled the air. Simon, in a deep-hued silk robe, uncorked a fine wine jar, his proud eyes tracking guests' movements. In pale golden light, Jesus sat in the room's heart, his gaze gentle yet piercing, listening to each generous life story offered. The alabaster jar in her hands was a priceless treasure, not just for its translucent crystal, but for its delicate distillation, pure fragrance, holding dreams of a new life. She knew its worth. Sold, it could feed a poor family for months. Kept, it symbolized her resolve. But her heart chose the thorniest path, offering all to the one she believed would erase her sins, granting full redemption. As she neared the large wooden gate to the inner courtyard, her heart pounded. Her footsteps tapped lightly on cobblestones like a drumbeat awakening courage. Each step conquered fear of scornful glares, whispered taunts, public rejection. A hot breeze carried scents of fresh peaches, dry grass, prompting a deep breath as she told herself, move forward. This is your only chance. For a moment, her past, mistakes, judgments faded, yielding to fresh hope. Inside the guest hall, soft light from oil lamps cast warm streaks. The crowd bustled, youths in legal robes bearing wine jugs, elderly women in linen dresses chatting softly, elders debating law. All ignored the waiting eyes at the door. She quietly raised her head, smiling despite cracked lips. Her trembling hands held the alabaster jar as if it were her life's final talisman. Simon spotted her from afar, lips curling slightly, eyes mixing curiosity with contempt. He turned to a guest, subtly remarking, "Who is this? She shouldn't be here." His voice echoed in her heart like a lash, but she didn't retreat. She stepped firmly, as if drawn by an unseen, powerful force. Eyes gradually turned, focusing on her, the woman bearing a promise of change. In the room's corner, Jesus sat still, hands gently on the ancient wooden table, his gaze never leaving her. Something hid in his look, not contempt, but profound empathy. She felt warm solace radiating from his eyes, as if he knew every wound in her soul. In that moment, she understood. This journey wasn't a lone walk, but a path to true healing. Pausing before a simple altar draped in white cloth, she bowed, the alabaster jar lightly touching the table's edge. No words escaped, only her sobbing breaths echoing softly. Sweat mingled with tears on her sun-scorched skin, marking a wordless sacrifice. The flame of faith within blazed, outshining every lamp in the hall. In that silent moment, conflict crystallized. Society burdened her with prejudice, but she faced it with sincere love. She didn't demand mercy. She offered her whole heart to the one she trusted as her guide. For today's viewers, we've all hesitated to act rightly, fearing worldly judgment. But as this woman teaches, faith and courage open hope's door, and this is just the beginning. The next chapter will reveal how the alabaster jar's fragrance filled the room with sweet perfume, dissolving prejudice's barriers. She'll face Simon's sharp questioning, finding unexpected affirmation in Jesus' reply. But first, pause to feel the hidden strength in each daring step, each drop of oil brimming with meaning. From this courageous moment, the unnamed woman's story becomes an eternal inspiration for those who dare to believe, to sacrifice. As the heavy wooden door creaked open, the room seemed to hold its breath. Morning light behind the woman stretched her shadow, forming a hazy line between inside and out. Her footsteps echoed on the stone floor, undeterred by the disdainful glares aimed at her. Simon, the host, looked up, his cold eyes sharp as knives piercing her slender form. Other guests whispered, voices thick with doubt. How dare she enter here? Who is she to stand among Jesus' feast? She felt each stare like invisible arrows targeting her, yet she didn't waver. The precious alabaster jar, holding a lifetime sacrifice, faith trembled in her sweat-soaked hands. Memories flooded back, neighbors' scornful looks, cutting gossip, the sense she'd never be worthy. But she'd heard of Jesus, the man who judged no one, condemned no one. That belief, a flickering lamp in the dark, guided her forward. As she knelt at Jesus' feet, the air grew so still that every breath was audible. Her long hair fell, draping the floor, and she wiped road dust from his feet with a cloth. Tears slowly fell, mingling with his sun-browned skin, leaving glistening trails under candlelight. In that moment, she laid bare her pain, her longing for acceptance. Simon could bear no more. He sipped his wine, then spoke with haughty tone. "Teacher Jesus, this woman is a sinner. Why do you let her touch you?" His words thundered like a storm, sparking dissent. Guests turned, some shaking heads, others frowning in contempt. Yet, in that moment of seeming collapse, a gentle fragrance erupted. The alabaster jar's seal broke, its oil's sweet scent spreading like holy mist. The aroma wasn't mere costly perfume. It carried hope's warmth, love's breath, sincere prayer. Every gaze paused, each person sensing a sacred presence weaving through the room. In that instant, the woman faced not just society's eyes, but her own demons. Flashes of past sins, unatoned mistakes, old taunts echoed in her mind. You're unworthy. You're a sinner. Don't expect forgiveness. Her heart tightened, but she silently recalled the promise. Those who come with true faith find grace. That conviction, stronger than gossip, held her steady amid the storm of shame. She slowly raised her head, eyes blooming like a sunflower to light. She prayed inwardly, not in resentment, but supplication. Lord, see my heart, see my soul, don't leave me alone. The faint words resounded deeply, touching every soul present. Jesus leaned forward, gaze gentle yet firm, not answering Simon with condemnation, but simply saying, "Let her be." His warm voice, like cool water, soothed pain, melted judgment's ice. The room fell utterly silent, only heartbeats pulsing. Simon froze, lips twitching, setting his wine down. His question found no retort. Guests looked at the sinner, no longer seeing a wretch, but a woman who sacrificed all, embracing pain to seek healing. Long ago, biblical women faced trials of injustice, harsh gossip, cruel stares. She was no exception. Yet through trials, she found a powerful inner voice: faith, hope, gratitude. She overcame fear, pain, leaving an indelible mark on witnesses' hearts. And here's the connection to us today. Who hasn't felt unworthy, feared judgmental eyes, hesitated to do right? Stepping onto a stage, sharing an idea in a meeting, defending the vulnerable, we've all wavered. But grace awaits those who advance with true hearts, daring to reveal flaws to find support, understanding. As her story closes, the alabaster jar's sweet scent lingers, reminding us love and compassion pierce all barriers. The woman left, not with the sorrow she arrived, but with serene eyes, a relieved smile, having heard divine justice's decree. She was forgiven. She was loved. In the afternoon sun slanting across the exit, her figure faded, leaving a tale of a heart unbowed. Each time we recall that image, let's ask, are we brave enough to trust in goodness despite judgment? Choosing faith's voice over the crowd's buzz, we write our own stories of forgiveness, courage, hope. It's the start of a long journey where small acts, sincere tears, loving hearts change the world. One step, one scent, one story. Though challenges lie ahead, grace walks beside, ready to guide those who dare step forward, dare believe. The woman paused after wiping Jesus' feet, her hands still clutching the precious alabaster jar. In that silent moment, each heavy breath seemed to carry years of suffering, regret. Then she raised the jar high, sunlight through a small window, glinting off its translucent crystal, sparking flickering rays. She sighed mournfully, feeling the weight of her entire life infused in each drop of fragrant oil. No one told her to do it, but she knew. This was her chance to offer all to the one she believed was her only hope. Her trembling yet resolute hands slowly opened the jar's seal. Warm oil droplets fell, tracing delicate lines on Jesus' skin. The scent of alabaster oil, distilled from meticulous craft, blending flower petals, tree resin, spread through the room like a gentle hymn from heaven. Each drop was a wordless prayer, holding her night-long tears without solace, her sighs over past mistakes. She thought of silent nights, wrestling with regret, guilt, wondering if she held any worth in the Most High's eyes. Now, each poor drop was a final piece completing her quest for forgiveness. She believed only sincere love, shown through total offering, could bridge a sinful heart to boundless mercy. The soft clink of the jar slowed time. Guests around the feast table, once chatting tactfully, fell silent, their eyes flashing irritation. A middle-aged man frowned, voice sharp. Such costly oil wasted. How many poor families could be saved with its sale? His words, rigid as stone, echoed in the stifling air. Some women sighed, shaking heads, torn between pity for the oil's loss and fleeting empathy for her. But amid the clamor of objections, Jesus sat still, his gaze gentle as a deep sea. He tilted his head, watching each move of the sinful woman, or rather, the woman of courageous heart. As reproaches lingered, he slowly raised a hand, halting debate. His warm voice cut through the heavy air. "Let her do this. She has done a beautiful thing for me." His words, a command from sacred heights, dispelled all discord. The room hushed, only pure fragrance, and every eye on her remained. Waves of emotion surged in her heart, like frost shattering under warm sun. Her chest swelled with new vitality, a deep peace she had never known. In that moment, she realized her act wasn't futile. It wasn't just offering oil. It symbolized gratitude, hope that led her through prejudice's thick darkness. She nodded faintly, affirming her choice. The oil's droplets traced a new horizon where sincere love triumphed over judgment's lines. Jesus' affirmation opened a door for biblical women before her, enduring injustice, prejudice, to join a stream of miracles. From Rahab, the harlot escaping war, to Ruth, the loyal foreigner, they were late-blooming flowers in the desert. And she, today's woman, extended that inspiration, daring to bear pain for healing. In the quiet, she recalled past days, trapped in contempt's chill. Each step here was a dense night breaking, yielding to radiant dawn. She looked around, no longer the initial scornful glares, but eyes opening to curiosity, admiration, even regret from those who'd rushed to judge. Jesus' gentle words echoed, "She has done a beautiful thing for me." Not just forgiveness, but encouragement for all mired in fear. Step forward, embrace grace, for my love is vast enough to hold all sins. She smiled faintly, hair damp with sweat, oil. That smile testified to faith's power, shown through action. In her eyes, hope awakened. She was no longer alone. The oil's drops absorbed into his skin promised a fully healed heart. She glimpsed a future, wounds no longer bleeding, broken lives rising, sincere love conquering darkness. The guests' reactions shifted. The frowning man showed remorse, head bowed, avoiding her gaze. A middle-aged woman stirred, eyes brighter, seeing dignity in her gentle act. Chatter resumed, no longer angry, but soft questions about mercy, the true meaning of her offering. The woman, stunned by the change, understood a miracle had spread, not just in her soul's darkness, but in hearts open to listen. Rejecting injustice, division, she sowed compassion, love, a seed growing in others, blossoming into gratitude, forgiveness. This moment tied the initial conflict, facing scornful glares, Simon's sharp question, now receiving divine justice's affirmation. The journey from entering, pouring the first drop, to seeing the miracle spread, wove a symphony of emotion, guiding viewers from fear to hope, uncertainty to peace. For today's reality, we often see small acts, a kind word, quiet help, misjudged, opposed, yet steadfast in faith, compassion. These acts become torches, sparking hope, changing the world. Each oil drop reminds us, a loving heart, a sincere offering, ensures justice, love overcome prejudice. As this action and growth chapter closes, let viewers remember, not every great sacrifice needs grand words. Sometimes silent offerings, compassion's whispers, are the strongest messages. Her legacy isn't the shattered alabaster jar, but how she sowed love to open hearts. When we dare do right, miracles emerge, not just in our lives, but rippling to others, each small act a vast hope. The tension in Simon's lavish room peaked as the host could no longer restrain himself. He stood abruptly, pointing at Jesus, voice rising, "If you are truly a prophet, how do you not know who this woman is? Why do you let a sinner touch you like this?" His words seemed a thunder, yet the room plunged into heavy silence. Every guest, from wealthy dignitaries to young men in legal robes, stopped talking, holding their breath for the response of the honored guest. The woman kneeling at Jesus' feet yet trembled violently. She raised her head, eyes glistening with fear yet fixed on him. Her dread stemmed not just from Simon's and the crowd's scornful glares, but from her own heart, where doubts and shame about her worth surged. Was she truly worthy of forgiveness? Did her sacrifice mean anything before human judgment? Jesus remained silent, his gaze gentle yet piercing, as if seeing every hidden pang in her soul. Instead of a direct retort to Simon, he began with a simple, accessible parable. His warm voice filled the hushed space. Two men owed a master large debts. One owed much, the other less. When due, neither could pay. The master, out of mercy, forgave both. So Simon, who will be more grateful? Simon hesitated, eyes flickering with uncertainty. He frowned, pondering, then answered after a pause, "Likely the one forgiven more." His reply, showing insight into cause and effect, hinted at a deeper truth. Greater grace sparks greater love. Jesus nodded slightly, his gaze shifting to the kneeling woman. The room seemed to soften, all eyes on her tearful eyes. "This woman," he said, voice low but clear, "has borne many wounds, many past sins. Through the sincere love she offers, love surpassing prejudice, fear, she deserves forgiveness more than anyone. She has loved much, so she is forgiven much." His declaration rang like a bell, heralding divine justice's intervention. It wasn't just defense, but an affirmation of love's, mercy's essence. Redemption comes not from perfection, but from daring to love, offer fully. The room stirred with soft sobs. The woman wept, but now not from despair. Her tears were of liberation, happy tears mixed with sweat, falling on the smooth floor, marking where she'd knelt. The alabaster oil's fragrance lingered on Jesus' skin, creating a warm space, erasing spiritual wounds. Those around, some covering mouths, others bowing heads, shamed by earlier harsh judgments, now looked at her with respect, admiration. Prejudice's wall seemed to crumble, letting love, forgiveness flood in. Simon, the harshest critic, lowered his head. He felt the injustice he'd caused, perhaps realizing for the first time that judgmental words could wound a soul more than chains. He withdrew his hand from the wine, sipped from his cup, stifling emotion. His eyes glinted with regret, yet also faint awe at her courage. This moment marked the story's greatest turning point. From human prejudice's trial to faith's liberation, the woman didn't just touch Jesus' feet with oil, but touched hearts with her ultimate offering. Her simple act held profound power, born of uncalculating, unjudging love. The blend of climax and resolution lay not only in Jesus' reply, but in how she gently wiped her tears, lifting her face to hope's light. She bowed in thanks to the one, granting her a new page in life. The oil's fragrance became a healing symbol, her story a vivid testament that grace awaits those daring to bare their hearts. Love, forgive. The modern connection shines clearly. We're often surrounded by judging eyes, harsh criticism. We hesitate to step up, show love, do good, fearing lost dignity, ridicule. But like her, when we hold to sincerity, act from selfless love, we transform ourselves, touch others' hearts, dismantle invisible barriers. The true miracle isn't flawless execution, but each step facing fear, each sacrifice of self to spread love. This fuels hope, leading to liberation where compassion, divine justice walk together. As this climax and resolution segment closes, viewers aren't just witnesses, but protagonists in their own lives, with power to step forward, love, forgive. From here we can ask, have we dared open our hearts, offer fully to receive grace? Can each small, misjudged act become a beacon for others? The journey continues. Prejudice's door has opened. Love's mercy's light still spreads. Even when our steps weary, the alabaster's sacrificial scent guides, reminding us divine justice triumphs when we dare love, trust. Despite trials, grace awaits, ready to free our hearts, fill them with hope. Beyond the heavy wooden door, afternoon sunlight slipped through cracks, painting strange shapes on the stone floor. The woman rose slowly, hands still scented with the alabaster jar's oil. Her heart pulsed with quiet peace, a stark contrast to the fear, shame that once haunted her. She drew a deep breath, lifting her chin, letting sunlight bathe her sun-tanned face, marked by freshly fallen tears. No longer a sinner in the Holy One's eyes, she stood as a living image of courage, faith, a woman who sacrificed her life to show the truest love. Lingering gazes in the feast's lavish room shifted from astonishment to admiration. Simon, once sharply questioning, now sat in uneasy silence. Other guests quietly rearranged plates, cleared the table with rare order. All felt the subtle miracle. A soul had spoken through action, spreading hope's fragrance throughout. She stepped lightly across the cool stone floor, each step etching her liberation. Memories of her journey flooded back, lonely days under gossip's reign, relentless whispers of a dark past, despair believing herself worthless. Now she left with an open heart, unburdened by sin's weight. Worldly judgment dissolved before grace's light. At Simon's gate, she paused, drawing eyes again. She bowed slightly to Jesus, a nod of gratitude for unexpected mercy. Then she turned, stepping onto golden gravel, walking into Bethany's streets. Her steady footsteps echoed, growing distant, like a drumbeat heralding. This was but the start of a new journey. In the sunset's glow, her shadow stretched on stone walls, underscoring a beginning from a healed heart. She returned to her small riverside home, its worn thatch still warm. On a rustic wooden table, a simple vase held wildflowers, a neighbor child's gift, quietly scenting the air. Today, she no longer felt a burden to others. Instead, she silently thanked each wild petal for teaching her faith in simple beauty. Sitting, she touched the bouquet as if touching the miracle just unfolded. In the evening's gentle darkness, she softly prayed, no longer begging forgiveness, but offering thanks to the one who erased her sins with love. She repeated the maxim that changed her life: grace awaits those who dare love, sacrifice. The words echoed in her heart, soothing, lingering unrest, nurturing hope for tomorrow. Night fell, oil lamps flickering golden light. She breathed warmth, gazing at her reflection. A plain woman, but with an extraordinary soul, stronger, braver, brimming with faith. Before, sleepless nights tormented her with dark dreams, guilt's shadows. Now she'd rest soundly, knowing however long the night, grace's dawn always shone brightly. The next morning, as first rays pierced the window, she woke smiling. Opening the door, she let the early breeze caress her hair, stepping into the garden. A tiny sparrow chirped on a phoenix tree, its song a melody for a new day. She bent, plucking a vibrant red flower, its faint scent recalling yesterday's alabaster jar. Everything around seemed more alive, touched by grace's miracle. She recalled Jesus' words, "She will be remembered wherever the gospel is preached." Those words promised a future. Her story wouldn't end with the broken jar, but ignite countless hearts. Clutching the flower, she felt a yearning to share this tale reverently, so all who heard found courage to pass through darkness, find waiting grace. Biblical women from Rahab, Ruth to Mary Magdalene, each bore a mirror of faith, sacrifice. She, yesterday's nameless woman, now joined their eternal chain. She'd be remembered as love's enduring image, grateful offering, healing power transcending barriers. In today's world, we see her shadow, the preschool teacher bravely adopting an abandoned child, the friend listening through our pain, the doctor sacrificing time for poor patients. Or you hearing this story when you dare open your heart, reveal flaws, embrace love, forgiveness. The alabaster jar's tale may be past, but grace's miracle lives in life's every breath. Each choice to love over judge, to offer selfless compassion, extends grace's thread. That's the final message. Whatever our past, we all have a second chance. Grace awaits those who dare love, sacrifice, believe. Thank you for exploring this untold story. If it sparked hope, strength, subscribe, comment with your experience. Share with American friends, family, to spread grace to more hearts. May God bless our journey for peace, love. Next week, don't miss Deborah, the prophetess of courage, leading Israel with faith, boldness. See you in the next inspiring journey.